There is something in your home that has no color, no shape, no sound of its own, and yet your cat moves through it as if it were solid. It is not furniture. It is not routine. It is not even your voice. It is the atmosphere created by your internal state, the subtle rhythm of your breathing, the tension in your shoulders, the pace of your movements, the tone that rests beneath your words. Cats do not follow instructions the way dogs do. They do not organize their behavior around commands. But they are exquisitely sensitive to shifts in emotional energy, and over time, if the bond deepens, something remarkable begins to happen. They adjust themselves to match it. Welcome back. Today we are exploring something that many people sense but rarely articulate: the quiet, almost invisible way a cat calibrates their behavior to the energy of the human they live with. Not through obedience, not through training, but through attunement. Because long before your cat responds to your voice, they respond to your nervous system. The feline nervous system is always listening. A cat enters a room already scanning. Not anxiously, but instinctively. They register sound frequencies, micro-movements, spatial shifts. But beyond physical cues, they also register emotional charge. A raised voice carries a different vibration than a steady one. Fast footsteps carry a different message than slow, predictable pacing. Even silence has texture. Silence held in calm feels different than silence held in tension. Cats are not analyzing your mood intellectually. They are feeling it somatically. When you are stressed, your body tightens. Your breath shortens. Your gestures become sharper. Even if you say nothing, the atmosphere thickens. Many cats respond to this by increasing alertness. They may move away. They may begin pacing. Some become restless. Others withdraw to elevated spaces. They are not judging you. They are adjusting to environmental data. And if your stress is frequent or intense, their adjustment can become habitual. In contrast, when your movements are measured, when your tone remains even, when your presence carries predictability, their bodies soften. They stretch more often. They lie down sooner. They groom in open spaces instead of hidden ones. The difference is subtle, but it is consistent. Your internal rhythm becomes part of the environment they are adapting to. Mirroring without imitation. When people hear the word mirroring, they often imagine imitation. But feline mirroring is not mimicry. It is regulation. It is the nervous system finding equilibrium within shared space. If you spend a quiet afternoon reading, you may notice your cat settling nearby, not because you invited them, but because the atmosphere has stabilized. Your stillness allows their vigilance to drop. On days when you move slowly and speak softly, their body seems to follow that tempo. Play becomes gentler. Movements become fluid rather than abrupt. But on days when you are distracted, anxious, or rushing, their behavior may shift in parallel. They may knock objects over. They may demand attention more intensely. They may seem hyper or unsettled. It is tempting to interpret this as disobedience or personality fluctuation. Yet often it is resonance. They are responding to your frequency. Cats are highly attuned to coherence. When the environment feels coherent, they rest. When it feels unpredictable, they compensate. This does not mean they are fragile. It means they are adaptive. And adaptation over time becomes adjustment. When energy becomes relationship. In the early stages of living together, a cat adjusts primarily to space. They map the territory. They memorize sound patterns. They learn the schedule of meals and sleep. But as trust develops, adjustment shifts from physical space to emotional space. They begin anticipating your tone before you speak. They approach when your posture opens. They hesitate when your shoulders tighten. Some cats will sit closer on days when you are subdued, as if drawn to stillness. Others may create distance if your internal energy feels turbulent. This is not magic. It is attunement. The more consistent your emotional patterns become, the more confidently they synchronize with them. If your home maintains a predictable rhythm, their body relaxes into that rhythm. If your emotional climate swings unpredictably, their body remains semi-alert. This is why two cats in two different homes can display completely different temperaments, even if they share similar genetics. Environment does not just shape behavior through rules. It shapes behavior through energy. And when a cat adjusts to your energy in a stable way, something profound begins to unfold. Regulation in shared silence. One of the clearest signs that a cat has begun adjusting to your energy is visible in moments where nothing is happening. You are sitting quietly, perhaps working, perhaps thinking. The room is still. Your cat chooses to lie nearby, not demanding engagement, not scanning intensely, simply existing within your presence. Shared stillness is powerful. In that silence, your breathing rhythm influences theirs. Your lack of sudden movement reduces their need for alertness. If your nervous system is calm, theirs often settles in response. This is co-regulation, a biological process where one organism's stability supports another's. It works both ways. Many people notice that when their cat rests against them, their own breathing slows, their shoulders drop, their thoughts soften. What feels like comfort is actually nervous systems aligning. Over time, this alignment strengthens. Your cat begins to expect calm in your presence, and you begin to associate their proximity with steadiness. Adjustment becomes mutual. The difference between control and resonance. It is important to understand that adjusting to your energy is not the same as being controlled by it. A healthy cat does not erase themselves to accommodate you. They remain distinct, autonomous, independent in spirit. Resonance does not remove individuality. It synchronizes safely. A confident cat may still assert boundaries. They may still retreat when overstimulated. They may still choose solitude. But when your overall energy remains steady, those boundaries appear measured rather than reactive. You begin to see fewer extremes. And within that moderation lies trust. Because when a cat feels that your emotional environment is predictable, they no longer need to guard against sudden shifts. They can afford to relax. They can afford to express their natural temperament instead of a defensive one. Adjustment then becomes an expression of comfort, not survival. When they match your calm, there is a specific moment many people recognize. You sit quietly after a long day, consciously slowing your breathing, letting your thoughts settle. Without calling them, without moving toward them, your cat approaches and lies down nearby. Not in your lap necessarily, not dramatically, just close enough to share the air. Feels intentional, and it is. They are responding to the lowered intensity in the room. Your nervous system has shifted downward, and theirs has followed. This is not training. You did not instruct them to come. You simply altered the emotional field. Cats are masters of sensing shifts that humans overlook. The more attuned they become to you, the more quickly they respond to these subtle changes. Over months and years, this adjustment becomes seamless. You may no longer consciously notice it, but it is happening. In the way they pause when your voice tightens. In the way they settle when your movements slow. In the way their play mirrors your mood. You are influencing each other continuously. Belonging in shared energy. When this synchrony deepens, you may look at your cat one quiet evening and realize that something intangible connects you. They sense when you are low before you speak. You sense when they are unsettled before they move. There is less guessing, less misinterpretation. You are reading each other, not through commands, not through performance, but through energy. And in that shared awareness, belonging forms. Because belonging is not proximity alone. It is emotional safety sustained over time. It is the absence of tension in shared space. It is the quiet certainty that neither of you needs to brace for the other. When a cat adjusts to your energy in this way, it means your presence has become predictable enough to relax inside. And that is not a small thing. That is trust written into behavior. If this resonates with you, if you have noticed your cat settling when you settle, softening when you soften, becoming restless when you rush, then you are already witnessing this invisible dialogue. Stay attentive to it. Protect the atmosphere you share. And if you find meaning in exploring these deeper emotional layers, the unseen forces shaping feline behavior beyond training and surface interpretation, then stay with us here. Subscribe, continue this journey, and let's keep uncovering the quiet psychology behind the animals who live beside us. Because sometimes the most powerful bond is not spoken, it is felt.